righty. Good morning and welcome to the Talent Take. I'm Talon Scott. This show is where we break down what's happening in the world, what's happening in culture, and what's happening right here in our communities. Today we're talking about Ye's upcoming show this weekend on Friday and Sunday, and some of the biggest headlines making news and a few pop culture stories that has everybody talking. So whether you're listening on your drive to work, sitting in class, or just hanging out, thanks for spending your time with me. Let's get into it. So I mentioned Ye will be here this weekend. It's kind of controversial. There was this whole situation where they were trying to get the shows canceled, essentially, because, as you know, Ye has always been, even when he was Kanye, a controversial person. But between the Tampa Sports Authority, who runs Raymond James Stadium, and the tour itself, it's too much of a money opportunity to pass up. And so they are continuing on with the show. So before we get started, we'll start with a little starter tune.
Once in a while I dream. Once in a while I think of you. I reminisce on days gone by when you and I were new. Once in a while I dream, hoping that you'd return to me, but I know that you're not coming back, so once in a while I dream. Each moment passes like hours, each day is dark as the night. Since we have ended, I just pretend I have a reason to live. It's sad how the seasons change, sad how the feelings go away. We were in love, but now it's over. So once in a while I dream. So sad how the seasons change, sad how the feelings go away. We were in love, but now it's over. So once in a while I dream. Pardon my plea, but would you allow if once in a while I dream?
Welcome back to the Talent Take. I'm Talon Scott. And as we know, Jay-Z just performed at the Roots Picnic with his viral afro. I actually just had the chance to watch Bay, the documentarian, describe and talk about the journey from his huge, Jay-Z that is, Jay-Z's huge long wicks into this afro. Shout out to Sacred for getting him through this journey. Jay-Z is actually one lucky person because he's had access to Sacred before it ever hit shelves, and he has had probably the most longevity in seeing progress with the hair care product, basically because his wife is the creator and owner of this product. So shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to Beyonce, but let's talk Ye. Whether you're a fan of his music or not, it's impossible to deny that he remains one of the most talked about artists on this planet. This weekend, all eyes are once again on Ye as fans wait to see what happens at his upcoming appearance. That upcoming appearance being at the Raymond James Stadium this Friday, June 25th, and Sunday, June 28th. Now, if you follow Ye and kind of follow his journey and being back on tour, you'll know that there's a break. Obviously, I said Friday show, Sunday show. What's he doing on Saturday? He's going to be in Paris, France. Now, how is he getting from Tampa to Paris, back to Tampa? Obviously on his private jet. But will it actually happen? That's the question. But we'll just have to wait and see, right? But regarding this upcoming appearance, honestly, you never really know what you're going to get with Ye. It could be that on Sunday, and I say... I can kind of speak a little bit more to this because I actually work at the stadium as a security supervisor, so I get a little bit of the ins and outs. But his show in Paris is public knowledge, so I'm not releasing anything that's not already out there. But it's the surprising thing of like I just said, you never know what you're going to get with Ye. And it could be that he's still in the air at 8 p.m. showtime on Sunday. And as you know, his fans are very passionate, very excitable, and they may just wait till he lands at midnight and have a show. He probably won't care about the fines you have when you go over time. But will it be music on Friday, Sunday? Will it be controversy? Will it be a little bit of both? Will he be bringing his daughter Northwest, who is a producer, music creator, mogul, all those things? Will we get to see the Northwest here in Tampa? That's usually the question. What will he do that surprises us? Will his wife, is she a world-renowned supermodel? She's something of that sort. She's very eclectic and a little different, but we appreciate people's differences here on the Talent Take. So let's get into some discussion points, I should say. Why do people continue to follow Ye? Why, even after all the controversy, I think his name is Senator Scott, wants to get the show canceled. But we have to ask the question, why? Why do people want to still go to this show knowing he's as controversial as he is? The biggest thing is that many fans are able to separate his music from his personal behavior. A lot of people do that with their very own president. He spent more than 2 decades influencing music, fashion, culture, and creating this loyal fan base. And so it's easy for those fans to then separate who he is outside of his music. But my thing is who he is inside of his music is who he is outside of it. No? Is there not a separation? Do we not see the person making the music or the person behind the music being that same person they are in the streets and being controversial? I personally do, but I am still able to separate the controversy from the music. Now, granted, my taste on Ye or my particular love for Ye comes from his early music. Like I said, I was a kid listening to Flashing Lights and wanting to hear it over and over. It like the lyrics, the energy behind it, the collaborations with Jay-Z, who I'm a longtime fan of, all allows me to still like him. And, some people admire his creativity and willingness to challenge those norms. Challenging those norms is having a wife who shows up practically naked on a red carpet, just covering all the essentials, right? But again, essentially naked, challenging the norms of our society. Others follow him because the controversy itself attracts attention. What's the saying? No publicity is bad publicity. Why is that? Because clearly, all eyes are on you. You've done something controversial. All eyes are on you. You've got the attention of the people. And sometimes that's all the people want. And it could be, and this is not a political show in any way, shape, or form. We'll talk politics, but it's not to say that one side or any side is greater than the other to a certain extent. I'll always lead with that, to a certain extent. But as a fellow Gemini, and Kanye being a Gemini, who else Gemini? Donald Trump being a Gemini. I'll even throw one scary one out there. I know I won't. I won't. There, but just search the list of prominent Geminis, and you'll see that these people are people kind of who just want a little bit of attention, even if it's bad attention. And I think I can remember my mom even saying that about me at some point. But his public struggles, reinventions, and unpredictability make him a fascinating figure to watch, even for critics. So, my question to you all out there is: at what point, if ever, does an artist's behavior outweigh their contribution to culture? When we talk about his impact on music and culture itself, Ye's influence extends far beyond rap. He changed the sound of hip hop with albums like The College Dropout and 808s and Heartbreak. He helped popularize emotional He popularized emotional vulnerability in rap, and he influenced artists like Drake, Kid Cudi, and Travis Scott. In terms of fashion, he's turned sneakers and streetwear into major cultural status symbols. I honestly see Ye's fashion in everyday kind of streetwear or streetwear essence, just on a norm. And so he's always kind of had that influence, and he's helped blur the lines between luxury fashion and street culture. I know there are some people who are like, how do these two things mix? And it's when you see it and you're like, that's an interesting outfit choice, but it's so popular and it's really the norm these days. And regarding media culture, Kanye West became one of the first artists whose personality often generated as much attention as their actual music. Like I said, no publicity is bad publicity. And for a Gemini, I can say that does reign true. But he has helped shape the era of celebrity-driven social media conversation. He's always in the blogs when he is in the blogs. And I say that it was like Kanye West, I feel like, disappears off the face of the earth at times. But when he does come to surface, everyone knows about it. Everyone's heard about it. He's on the blogs. He's on the news, wherever it may be. When he comes back out to light, we see him. So my next question to think about, and we can always talk about it on our next show. We can bring this topic back up. But would modern hip hop sound the same today if Ye have never entered the industry? That's really a thought-provoking question. Would modern hip-hop sound the same today if Ye never had entered the industry? And you can ask that for a lot of artists. I can say that about Beyonce, maybe. Jay-Z, maybe. And I hate to keep throwing out my favorite people, but you think about these people who are at the top of the list when it comes to dominating in their field. And you have to ask, is the industry or is that genre, would that genre be the same without them? When we talk about appreciating art versus agreeing with the artist, this is one of the biggest debates surrounding controversial celebrities. The argument for separation is that art can have value regardless of the creator's personal beliefs. Do we think that? Do we, and I'm going to keep tying it back to that because we ask ourselves like, yeah, the music's good, but wow, them as a person, that's not somebody I would invite to the family Sunday dinner, or bring around my family as a potential partner and want my mom and parent or both my parents to accept this person. But people often connect with the songs and films or books because of what they meant to them personally. And so it's that separation that really kind of calls out like, I can enjoy this and it makes me feel good. I like it. It allows me to kind of fall away from the troubles of the world or the problems of the world because this artist has put this out. And I can say that is acceptable. I can say that is something that matters. And again, I'm always going to say to a certain extent. But me personally, I always take it back to early A days, before the Kardashians. There's the Kardashian effect we think about, but I just think kind of people change over time. But the artistry, I think, that lives in him is his early artistry And everything that's kind of followed after that is just kind of how people grow and see the world and change with the world. And arguing against the separation of between music and the artistry is that supporting an artist financially or culturally can indirectly support their platform. Some believe an artist's actions and beliefs cannot be separated from their work. So it's really something to think about, and it doesn't even have to be about artist itself. We can talk about people like Donald Trump or news anchors and how they view stuff but have to speak on it on the news. But the middle ground here is that people can acknowledge an artist's talents while still criticizing harmful statements or behavior. Is it possible to respect someone's artistic contribution while openly rejecting their views? All right, well, that's all on Yay. Enjoy. I'll see you on the other side of it.
From the first moment I saw you, I knew I had to make you mine. Wanted to know everything about you. I didn't want to waste no time. What's something I can do for you, darling, that would make you smile? I'll bring you flowers, girl, enough to see for miles. Something's changed, baby, this I know. Summer rains turn to winter snow, but I promise you for sure, girl, my love is always yours. Something's changed, baby, this I know. Summer rains turn to winter snow, but I promise you for sure, girl, my love is always yours. I love your style, and I love your grace. Said I love to put a smile on your pretty little face. I love it when you're close to me. That's where I want you to always be. I didn't know when I found you that I would find a love so true. And you can see it in my eyes. That girl, you've got me hypnotized. Something's changed, baby, this I know. Summer rains turn to winter snow, but I promise you for sure, girl, my love is always yours. Something's changed, baby, this I know. Summer rains turn to winter snow, but I promise you for sure, girl, my love is always yours. Something's changed, baby, this I know. Summer rains turn to winter snow, but I promise you for sure, girl, my love is always yours. Something's changed, baby, this I know. Summer rains turn to winter snow, but I promise you for sure, girl, my love is always yours.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Talon Take. I'm Talon Scott. So we kind of jumped in on it. I just sprung myself on you. Let's talk a little bit about the Talon Take. Again, I'm Talon Scott, and this is the show where we talk about the stories people are arguing about, laughing about, posting about, and sometimes avoiding altogether. Today's episode is a big one for me, mainly because we're official. I did my test show a couple of weeks ago and was really excited, and I will have to admit that I wanted there to be a video aspect to this. But with, like I mentioned in our first segment, I've got a lot of things going on, and I really didn't want to take away from giving you the content, the meat and potatoes of my content with trying to get this studio set up to accommodate both video and audio. So we are going audio only for now. And honestly, I'm really, really excited about it. It allows me to take my brain off of having my hands on 8 different parts, being a producer, a writer, a videographer, and the host of this show. But to be able to do this and just to speak to you and have my laptop and my soundboard here and actually just give you the information and let you take it and run with it is what I'm actually really excited about. And sometimes the best way to build something is to simplify it. So today we're only going to do what great radio has always done, and that's tell stories, share opinions, break down the news, and have a real conversation. We talked about Ye and his event this weekend. I gave you a little bit of my first Talon take with success isn't always fast. But we can get now into some news, a news roundup here. And so my first take on news, we can get into some of the headlines right now, is AI, or technology. So as we know, AI continues to dominate conversations across education, business, media, and entertainment. And I'm gonna shout out my mom because she's my mom, obviously, but she's becoming a little AI dependent. And I say that respectfully in a way that she uses it for work and it's a necessity for her work, just based on her role and how busy it is and how it simplifies a lot of the things that usually would take her hours, not to her own fault, but because of the nature of her job. But she's become a little bit of addicted. And so there has been, obviously, like I said, she uses it for work, but on the personal side of things, she's gotten a little carried away, and we love her for it. And my family teases her, and we have a little fun with her and mocking that, like, oh my, you're so AI dependent. I think I said, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this on air, but I think she sent an AI picture just recently, and my response to the family group chat was, somebody please point me into the direction of the AI data center so I can blow it up and just do away with it so that my mom can stop AI generating pictures of herself in these different scenarios. But I do love that she has fun with it. But back to the meat and potatoes is that some people see it as their biggest productivity tool in decades. Others worry about jobs, creativity, and misinformation. Now, I've seen it firsthand, the ability for AI to come in and technically take jobs. And in regards to creativity, graphic designers, are you okay? I'm speaking directly to graphic designers right now. Are you guys okay? Because a ChatGPT flyer is currently the world's epidemic. In 2020, we had coronavirus. In 2026, we have ChatGPT flyers. And everyone I know, we just laugh about it. But it's the fact that it's so easily distinguishable between something like a graphic designer or graphic artist would create and what ChatGPT puts out there. But my take is that I think AI is becoming a tool that rewards people who learn how to use it well. You know, you can actually teach your AI. You can actually learn the tools to properly use it. And that way, it's just like the internet did. So we have to take control of the reins and grow with the technology instead of being scared of it. Now, to our local news, living in Tampa, one thing you constantly notice is growth. More people moving here, more construction, which is why I'm always late. The road construction between I-4, 275, that whole interchange or whatever they're building kind of resembles, or will likely maybe resemble, like Spaghetti Junction if you're in Georgia, my Georgia listeners. But more construction, more traffic, more businesses. Tampa feels like a city that is still figuring out what it wants to become. And that's actually kind of exciting. I get to pass all these new builds and apartments, and I get to say, oh my gosh, do I want to live there? Do I want to live here? And it's actually kind of been an influence. And we see how the city is building up, and there are more things to do, places to be. But I'm really most excited about the real estate. Now, moving into media and entertainment, streaming platforms are fighting harder than ever for attention. I know they're fighting harder than ever for that last $10 in my wallet. I know that to be true. But new shows drop every week. Podcasts are everywhere. Short form videos just keep getting bigger. And honestly, It's never been easier to create something and put it in front of people. The challenge isn't publishing anymore. The challenge is standing out. What streaming platforms do I have right now? I'm on Netflix, obviously, Hulu, MGM for my From lovers. From is a great show. I really think you should check it out. But I do get a little bit of overload. I have my comfort shows, and my partner makes fun of me all the time because I get in the bed and I put on this show that I've watched probably 20, 30 times already. And I say that in terms of episodes. It's like 8 seasons, and I've watched these 8 seasons. I joked the other day that it may be my 5th time watching these all 8 seasons. But there's a little bit of overload. Like, I get on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, my God, I really don't even know where to start. Now, I do gravitate more towards particular genres, like government shows, like FBI and stuff that kind of deals with our government and our military and action-packed stuff like that. But you get on Netflix and you're just like, wow, I'm exhausted. Like, I don't even know where to start, how to start. And maybe that's a me problem. Maybe it's just the simple fact that I have decision paralysis when it comes to a lot of things. But finding something to watch is definitely one of those things. All right, we are going to take a short break. Thank you for getting into our news roundup. We'll be right back on this other side of one of my favorite tunes right now. I don't know why, but it certainly is. Enjoy it. All right, welcome back to the Talent Take, everybody. I'm Talon Scott. Let's jump into entertainment, pop culture, and the stories everyone seems to be talking about this week. So let's get into one of the most talked about TV shows right now. That is The Pit. And I didn't just pick this show because I'm from Pittsburgh and I'm absolutely obsessed with it, but let's talk about that. I am from Pittsburgh and I am absolutely obsessed with this show. This last season that just came out, the opening and the opening shot, which is the shot of the city of Pittsburgh, and I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but the main doctor of the show, who actually is the doctor from the hit TV show ER back in the day. I never watched, but finding out that he was the doctor, a young doctor on the show ER, and now is the main attending in the show The Pit. But back to that first scene, he's riding on his motorcycle through the city, and you see used to be Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium. You see where the Pirates play. You see the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. You see all the bridges, the Roberto Clemente Bridge, just the city in general. And I was just in awe of what a beautiful city Pittsburgh truly is. And the fact that, and regarding Pittsburgh, is this show really mimics the city in the sense that it's the Pittsburgh. It's UPMC is the hospital group there, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and it's all student doctors for the most part. I remember having been in the hospital at one point, and they all coming around, and it's the attending with like 8 student doctors, and they all just kind of talk over you, but we'll talk over you in a sense that like everybody's passing your information around and talking about the issue that we're trying to solve here. But it's very much how it goes in any of the hospitals in Pittsburgh. And I think that's really cool. It's a medical city. UPMC is everywhere you turn, but there are so many different hospital groups. But back to the show itself. One of the biggest shows people are talking about right now is this medical drama, The Pit. And the series became a breakout hit because of the realistic portrayal of emergency room life. Strong performance, and I mean really, really strong performances and intense storytelling. It's been dominating conversations online and continues to rank among the most popular television shows of this year. I just finished the most recent season, and I think I'm hearing bad news that the new season may not come out until 2028. I really hope I'm wrong on that. But my take on that is if you are coming back with with another season, which could be their last season, is what I'm hearing the buzz about. But if you come back, if it takes that long to come back with a season that really dominates and is that good, I think I can be patient. So why are audiences connecting with such realistic dramas again? I think it's because we have this ability to connect with these real stories. Everybody's probably been in the emergency room or been with somebody in the emergency room, and it's the worst experience ever. I say this all the time, is that first responders, EMS, fire, police are all people who you only technically see sometimes on the worst day of your life. That is a huge case for people in the hospital. Between sickness, injury, stuff like that, you're having the worst day of your life, and you're in this hospital with hundreds of other people having the worst day of their lives, and you get that feeling in the show, and how these doctors have their own personal issues at home or within the workplace, and have to still treat these patients and really save people's mental or lives, but actually their lives, and it's something really heartfelt and something easy to connect with. But we ask, are viewers getting tired of the superhero and fantasy content? Because The Pit is real life. I don't think there hasn't been anything on that show that isn't something that has happened or has the potential to happen. So it really sets itself apart with being able to connect with real life while being in the comfort of your own home. What I find interesting is that audience seem to be craving stories that feel real. A few years ago, it was all about massive franchises. Now people are gravitating toward grounded stories that actually feel authentic. Now to get into our big celebrity headlines, these folks have always been in the headlines, particularly during the NFL season and their tour season. We actually just listened to her song. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, they continue to dominate headlines. Even when neither are releasing major projects or even playing, the public remains fascinated by the relationship between pop star Taylor Swift and NFL star Travis Kelce. Celebrity media outlets continue to spotlight the couple, showing how celebrity culture has evolved into a 24/7 news cycle fueled by social media engagement. I think they recently had a date night in New York City, and as they were walking up the door, you seen the door had a private close sign. Do they have to close down a restaurant for a date night? Is that a realistic date night? I guess for the one percenters, they're super rich. Being able to close down a restaurant for your date night just makes that date night so much more better. But is it kind of lonely? I think so. Yeah, I think so. You like to be, when you're on the dates and stuff, you like to be in the mix of people. You like to be able to people watch. When the restaurant is just the cooks, the servers, and your security staff, there's not real much people watching in that. But why are celebrity relationships such a huge business? Are they marketable? Not really. They're not. They don't sell merch between the two of them. Maybe it's just the love story people want for themselves and they can connect with it. Or is Taylor Swift just that much of a mogul that anybody she dates is going to cause a stir or be really, really popular? Travis Kelce, who was he before a Swiftie? I think he was a successful NFL star. Has that been taken away in being a Swiftie and being the now fiance to Taylor Swift? I don't think so. I think Swifties actually jumped on the NFL bandwagon when they started dating, and I don't think there were probably more Swifties watching the NFL before the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift relationship. But celebrity culture isn't new, but social media has made fans feel like they're a part of the story. Every appearance becomes a headline and every photo becomes content. Now, let's get into some viral social media trends. Line culture and FOMO. I have FOMO really, really bad, but a trend that's getting attention is what some are calling line culture. People waiting hours for restaurants, products, pop-up events, and experiences largely because they went viral online. I know one that was here I can talk about was the one Slutty Vegan came, excuse my French, but the popular vegan restaurant that serves, and I mean this with all due respect, kind of sloppy, kind of burger culture, but, and I'm using air quotes, in a healthy way. It is all vegan, obviously, but is all vegan is truly super, super healthy. But critics argue that people are chasing internet clout more than the actual experience. I don't like waiting in lines. I don't like being the person. Do you remember when people used to spend the night in Apple Store lines for the new releases of the iPhones? Now you get to pre-order it and have it delivered to you. But people, if that was still a thing, it's not a thing anymore. But if it was still a thing, people were. Remember the last thing that happened was the AP watch, Audemars Piguet, and I think it was Swiss watch that did a collaboration across the country, and people literally waited in lines. I know in Tampa they did this like paperclip thing where if you got your paperclip, you were able to come in, and people were showing up with their own paperclips. I guess it's a matter of what the item is and how popular it is that makes people want to be the first to get it or be the only one get it. I think they only had like 300, or no, that's wrong. It was only $300. Imagine getting an Audemars Piguet. Do your research on that watch. An AP watch. Let me pull it up. AP watch. And any AP watch can go anywhere from $40,000 to upwards of $100,000. And I'm sure there's some more than that. Yeah, here's a $128,000 watch. So for them to came out with a $300 watch, maybe I would have been in that line too. But lines and stuff like that scare me. FOMO necessarily doesn't scare me, but the lines and the crowds do. So my FOMO sometimes has to be put on the back burner when it comes to my own personal safety. Well, we've reached a point where being somewhere can sometimes feel more important than what you're actually doing there. Social media has turned experiences into status symbols. All right. And a recent music release that people are debating. J. Cole's The Fall Off. One of the albums generating discussion among hip hop fans is The Fall Off. Some listeners see it as a strong, reflective project from one of rap's most respected voices, while others question whether it lives up to this year's anticipation. Either way, people are talking about it. The interesting thing is that where everyone loves the album, the interesting thing is that people are actually debating music again. And I think that's a good thing. That's usually a sign that the artist made something worth talking about. And lastly, in sports culture, FIFA. The FIFA World Cup halftime show debate. FIFA's decision to bring a Super Bowl halftime show to the 2026 World Cup final has sparked strong reaction. Some fans love the idea of global entertainment icons performing, while others believe the focus should remain entirely on the sport. Yeah, but why is there not room for the entertainment? We all expect there to be a halftime show at the Super Bowl. That's a part of the whole package, in my opinion, is getting to experience the Super Bowl show. You know, Bad Bunny's recent Super Bowl performance was one of the highlights. Let me see if I can remember the two teams that played. I know it was the Seahawks because obviously they won and they just had their ring celebration. But who did they play? The Patriots, I think. And I think I can only remember that because the Stephon Diggs controversy. So the entertainment aspect of it, I really think it's important. It's needed. Please don't get mad at me, but regarding soccer, football, it is kind of boring. I love sports in the way that it brings people together and the fandom, and living in Tampa and not being from Tampa and working at the stadium, working for the Bucks, seeing people's passion for the Bucks when they win or how angry they get when they lose. And I'm just like, wow, I don't get to have that same experience being in Tampa regarding the sports part of it all, but the entertainment of it all really is what's exciting. I could care less if Tampa wins or loses, but it's the emotion and it's the entertainment of the sport as a whole that I think is really cool. So this debate really isn't about a halftime show. It's about what sports are becoming. Are we watching games or are we watching entertainment events that happen to include sports? I remember, if I can remember right, it's popping in my head, but what was it? When Beyonce performed the Super Bowl many, many years ago, I remember people, and it wasn't even the Super Bowl. It was actually when she did her Beyonce Bowl for Christmas, maybe 2 years ago. And people had signs that was like, what is this sport happening in the middle of a Beyonce concert? And so that's the fun part about it. I do believe that the entertainment of it all does need to include music. Those are some of the biggest stories driving conversation and entertainment and culture this week. Coming up next, we are going to close out the show with just some random topics. But before we go, we'll send you out with a music tune. We'll see you on the other side of it.
Book our flights. Let's go see a show in Mexico, yeah. Laugh and dance all night. We should fly right over the sea. Take my hand to another land, girl, just you and me. Breakfast here and dinner there, we flow with the breeze. We can do this anywhere, never place you wanna see, yeah. Few days in Tokyo, weekend in Spain. Out there in Ibiza, chillin' all day with your feet up. Don't matter where we go, always stays the same. I got you and you got me, girl. That'll never change. That'll never change. We should like round Amsterdam. Feel the breeze taking the sights. Hand in hand through the streets of Paris, girl. Having fun by candlelight. Maybe we could take the train to London. I've got some real good friends out there. Maybe we could check out Strasbourg and Barcelona. Our love can take us anywhere. We should fly right over the sea. Take my hand to another land, girl, just you and me. Breakfast here and dinner there, we flow with the breeze. We can do this anywhere, never place you wanna see. Yeah. Few days in Tokyo, weekend in Spain. Out there in Ibiza, chillin' all day with your feet up. Don't matter where we go, always stays the same. I got you and you got me, girl. That'll never change. Few days in Tokyo, weekend in Spain. Out there in Ibiza, chillin' all day with your feet up. Don't matter where we go, always stays the same. I got you and you got me, girl. That'll never change. That'll never change. That'll never change. That'll never change.
Welcome back to the Talon Take. I'm Talon Scott. Before we wrap up, here's a question I want you to think about. What's one thing everyone seems to be obsessed with right now that you just don't get? Maybe it's a trend. Maybe it's a celebrity. Maybe it's a social media app. You know, I can remember a time where I refused to get on TikTok. Maybe I was still mourning Vine, or maybe I just wasn't willing to accept the fact that, like, this is what's new. But I didn't get on TikTok for a really, really, really long time. Now I'm obsessed. I don't say I'm on it all the time, but when I'm on it, I'm on it. For me, I'm fascinated by how quickly people move on from loving something to hating it. The internet can turn anything in record time. One week, you're the main character. The next week, everybody's looking for the next thing. And that's going to do it for the first audio-only edition of the Talon Take. If you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate it. We talked about progress, consistency, yay, Kanye that is, social media, the news, and the weird world of modern culture. My goal with this show is simple. Create a space where we can talk about what's happening without pretending to have every answer, because I certainly do not. Sometimes the best conversations come from asking better questions. So if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend, follow the show wherever you're listening, and let me know what topics you want covered next. I thank you so very much for joining me today. With this being my first show, I ask for grace in developing my radio host's personality and my ability to share stories and transition between stories and give you guys good music. If you're listening on YouTube, blame copyright and enjoy the elevator music. But if you're listening to my live show here on Live 365, I hope you do get to enjoy the music and kind of get a sense of who I am personality-wise from it. But that will be all for today. I'll send you out with one last show's tune. I'm Talon Scott. Stay informed, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time on The Talon Take.
Find my way to you. Yeah. I want to find my way to you. You, my love. There's so many people
when they will. I could use some motivation, but I know how I feel. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end. It's over and that's the end. Oh, I want to find my way to you. Yeah, baby. Oh, I want to find my way to you. Gotta find my way, baby. I don't need a reason to say what I want when it's real. If I see you acting patient, you never know your last meal. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end.